This is the shoal. We're sitting in the shoal right here.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, we're watching the sun go down. It's gonna be time to daven. I moved up here after graduating college for a summer job. The previous owner had just bought the property and needed help building fences and corrals for the horses and various projects like that, which I knew absolutely nothing about. I'm a valley boy from Santa Cruz Valley, but she had a nephew who did grow up on a farm and who showed me the ropes. So that was in 1971, and here I am. I wasn't on a spiritual journey at all. I just majored in history, among other things, in college, and I was taking the past seriously, and I was interested in my own past. In the late 1970s, a Chabadnik moved to Santa Cruz, so I started going to his classes Friday nights. So I started taking things on, one thing at a time. Pretty much around the same time, a little later, I started making wine. When I started becoming more observant, the idea of making your own Kiddush wine, what could be better? So I started doing that on a small scale. I think maybe in late 1970s, 5 gallons, 10 gallons the next year, 15 gallons the next year. It just grew from year to year. When you're checking for ripeness, you taste the grapes. Make sure there's still good acidity, and then you check the seeds. Check for tannins in the skins, and you check the seeds to make sure that they're brown. These are Cabernet Franc grapes, and they're not irrigated. I'm dry farming here, which means whatever God provides, that's what these grapes are surviving on. The image that crystallizes my relation to wine in terms of Yiddishkeit is the image of elevation, of elevating the physical world for a holy purpose. And grape growing and winemaking is such a picturesque version of that idea that both of these things were happening at the same time in my mind, and it just went kaboom. What are we doing with Kiddush? We're acknowledging the creator of the world and the purpose of the creation and the purpose of our being here. The important part is that the function of connecting the created world with the spiritual world has been fulfilled in the act of Kiddush. When we use the physical world to acknowledge the spiritual world, and we drink the wine, it's like we're God's Kiddush cup. And when we drink the wine, God then has a full cup. When we drink the wine with those thoughts in mind, growing grapes and making wine and using it for Kiddush, and God has a Yid full of wine, then God can make Kiddush. And he's making Kiddush on a successful project. The journey that the rainfall makes, coming from heaven and soaking into the ground, coming up through the vine, producing leaves and fruit, that's the parallel journey that the soul makes, comes down from heaven into the physical world here. We grow up in life, God willing, we become sweet, and then God picks us for the next elevation.
Oh,